Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 49. We just got back to Weedmark and I turned in our escort contract off screen. It didn't pay much, but we weren't really doing it for the gold anyway. Our goal right now is to raise our affiliation with House Rabenholt as high as possible. We've already managed to get our relations up to very friendly, and the next step above that is allied. So we're finally getting close to achieving our current ambition. We've also been doing a really good job of improving our reputation in Weedmark. That will make it even easier to improve our equipment down the line, though I do need to make sure we spend a bit more time in Groenenfest as well. And as a quick update, we've managed to get Eraton's mood back out of the danger zone. He's still dissatisfied, but at least he won't be trying to quit. Now, let's go ahead and pick up another contract. Dust covers Hartwig of Weedmark's table, but there's a spot oddly cleaner than the rest. Oh wait, okay. We've seen this descriptive text before. This is your basic thief quest. The text is the same, but the item is different. In this case, we need to recover our employer's lockbox, and he's offering a reasonably decent payday, so we'll accept the contract. Honestly, after all the goblins and orcs we've fought lately, I'm just happy to have another chance to take on some run-of-the-mill bandits. Oh, yeah. If it's just marksmen and raiders, we should be able to blow through this fight pretty quickly. Okay, looks like we're up against 7 raiders and 3 marksmen. Let's get Bellefontaine's shield up and... now let's see what their marksmen do. There's a light hit on Eraton. And we've already got the chance to fire back. Fox takes off one of the raiders' ears. And Bunny finishes him off. Then she puts another arrow through a raider marksman's hand. But that hardly deters the rest of the brigands. They're all rushing our line. They'll probably regret that pretty quickly. They're also abandoning their marksmen, which I intend to take full advantage of. Alright, Potato. You're up. Potato takes down one of their marksmen. And he takes a shot at a second marksman, killing him as well. Nicely done. Mark Richards takes aim at the final marksman, but can't land the shot. Oh, and now that Eraton's not a drunkard anymore, this is a good chance to break in those legendary throwing axes. And he just put a throwing axe through a bandit's neck. Not bad. Reinhard moves in and puts his spear through a bandit's eye. Kazarin moves up to the opposite side of the bandit formation. And he lands an armor-piercing strike. Rondis steps up and readies his greatsword. But he can't land the hit. Janos follows his example, moving up and readying his great hammer. But he has a bit more success, crushing a bandit into the ground. Bellefontaine moves up. But unfortunately, he's not a high enough level to actually get off an attack. Henry moves up to provide some cover for our archers. And Flawed does the same. Round 2. Janos takes a very minor hit. The bandits reposition. And our archers are up. We'll stay focused on taking out that crossbowman. Fox missed his intended target, but he still managed to put an arrow through a bandit's shoulder. Kazarin deflects a brigand's axe with his shield. The crossbowman fires over our formation. And Bunny immediately returns fire, putting an arrow through his arm. And then Potato kills him. That takes care of all of the... And then Potato takes off a bandit's ear for good measure. That actually takes care of all the bandits with ranged weapons, so... at this point, it's really just a matter of cleanup. Vlad stabs his pike deep into a bandit's chest. Belfontaine sinks his dagger into a bandit's leg, then finishes him off with a second strike. Kazarin's foe breaks, but Rondis cuts him down before he can flee. Janos is up, and he effectively hobbles a bandit, crushing his ankle with his great hammer. Let's do some final maneuvering here, and moving into round 3. The archers are up. They'll focus fire on this guy with the kite shield in the back. No luck so far, and it looks like he's making a run for it. We'll start moving Potato in his general direction. We want to try to maintain line of sight if possible. Vlad lashes out, killing one of the brigands. Then he starts pursuing the other fleeing brigand. Eraton follows close behind Vlad. And Reinhard pursues the fleeing brigand as well. Kazarin stays focused on the last opponent on our line, chipping away at his armor. And then Rondis lashes out with a flurry of blows, finally killing the badly injured bandit. At this point, we just need to run down that last bandit. I'm not sure if we'll be able to catch up with him on foot, but if we're lucky, our archers will be able to shoot him down before he can get too far. Fox puts an arrow through his face, and Bunny lands another hit as well. Mart moves up into firing range, but he doesn't have any luck. And Potato fails to hit as well. Okay. Oh, actually, this guy's morale is broken, so we shouldn't have any trouble catching up with him. Vlad draws his dagger and rushes in to pin down the fleeing foe. Oh, and he kills him. Well, that was easy. No level ups, and it looks like Potato pulls MVP with 3 kills. We can probably use that long axe, but we have enough room to just grab everything. Well, you found those responsible for stealing the lockbox and put them to the sword. Now you just need to put the lockbox back in Hartwig of Weedmark's hands and get your reward. Let's collect our pay. We're pretty close to Weedmark, so we might as well just jog right over there now. Hartwig of Weedmark grins as you enter. Sellsword, will you sell me word of your success? You take out the artifact and place it on his table. Sure. The man jolts forward in his chair and takes the item away. He turns back to you, calming himself, returning his composure. Good. You did good. Very good. 1,020 crowns, as promised. He hands over a sack of coins. All right, contract complete. And it looks like it reset the contract, so now we've got a 3-skull noble contract. We'll check that out in just a moment. But first we have to take care of our inventory. We'll be right back after I've sold off our loot and picked up some more supplies. And we're back. Time to check out this 3-skull contract. Reading a scroll, Count Halston von Rabenholt begins to laugh and then seems unable to stop himself from grinning. Good news, Sellsword! The people of House Rosenving no longer seem content with their rule. You raise an eyebrow and nod facetiously. Scooting his chair up to his desk and perusing a map laid across it, the man continues. The better news is that I have an envoy by the name of Wolf going to Sea Dock today to do some talking. Obviously, the roads are laden with skeevy thieves, and the lords of House Rosenving are ever skeevier, so this man needs some protection. That's where you come in. All you have to do is get him there and back. Okay, so it's another escort mission. I guess we can handle that. Whoa, especially if he's offering almost 5,000 gold for the job. Well, that's definitely a pretty hefty payday. And hopefully this job will be enough to finally forge an alliance with House Rabenholt. So, let's go ahead and collect our envoy and head towards Sea Dock. While preparing to leave town, a man bumps into you. He doesn't apologize. Instead, he peers out from beneath a long black cloak. There will come a time you have to make a decision. Stay and fight or leave and live to see another day. Gold will follow you on the second road. A shovel will bury you on the first. You reach out to grab the man, but he simply steps back, being absorbed into a rush of laymen that just happen to be scurrying by. This could get interesting. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're probably going to end up being ambushed somewhere on the way to Sea Dock. In fact, I think this is a good time to rearrange our battle line real quick. We'll be right back. While on your way, a group of armed men emerge seemingly out of nowhere to stand in your way. Amongst them is the shady figure you'd seen earlier. They announce their intention to take the envoy off your hands. In return, you'll get a large sum of money, 3,600 crowns. Otherwise, well, they'll have to take him by force. Well, we're trying to build an alliance with House Rabenholt, so obviously we're not going to turn him over. If you want him, come and get him. The mysterious man stretches an arm out, the hand's fingers curling as if to reel the envoy away from you. Instead, you push the envoy back behind your battle line. The stranger nods instantly. Understandable, but not pursuable. We both have our benefactors, sellsword. You must be loyal to yours and I to mine. Let the best of us remain standing to reward those who put their faith in our hands. Whew, okay, we're up against a plethora of mercenaries. I'm not going to lie to you, this is probably going to be a pretty tough fight. Alright, right off the bat, Roderick's taken a light wound. Ooh, and there's another one. Okay, we're not off to a great start. Roderick's down about a quarter of his health already, and we've got great weapon wielders moving in on our flanks. Let's see if we can take out some of their marksmen real quick. Wojtek puts an arrow into their front ranks. Nice. Alessandro puts an arrow through one of the enemy marksmen's necks. Fox and Bunny put a couple of arrows over the mercenaries' heads. And we've got a whole bunch of heavily armed and well-armored mercs coming right for our front line. On the bright side, if we actually survive this, we'll theoretically get a whole bunch of solid armor upgrades. Okay, we don't want to engage these guys just yet. We'll throw up our shields, and next turn we're going to pick off those marksmen. They've actually left all of their ranged fighters out in the open, so hopefully we can take advantage of that. Round 2. Their marksmen start a slow advance. A mercenary with a war brand engages our sergeant, taking a chunk out of his armor. We've got a great sword wielder coming up. Oh, but he decided to throw axes at us instead. I can certainly live with that. Our archers are up, so here's our chance to pick off some of their marksmen. Wojtek sinks an arrow into a marksman, then sinks another arrow through his leg. Wolf keeps running. And Alessandro takes aim. There we go. Alessandro puts down our first mercenary. Oh, and he takes down another marksman with a lucky headshot. Reinhard just got netted. Fox puts an arrow through a marksman's face. And Janos just got netted. Looks like Wojtek lost about a third of his armor there. Bunny drops our third enemy marksman. And then takes a wild shot into the enemy formation. Janos draws a little fire. Roderick deflects a few throwing spears with his shield. And we've got contact. At this point, we've only got one enemy marksman left, and he's pretty badly wounded. So I think it's time to move up and engage these guys wholesale. Vlad tears through an enemy's helmet. Roderick readies his dagger, but... Okay, this is a risky move, but we'll have him ready his greatsword. And I guess we'll... No, I can't risk trying to move him. Ooh, and he trims off half the guy's armor and health with a single blow. Now let's move I got up to engage all three of these foes. That breaks the guy that Roderick just injured, so he'll focus on another foe. And he cleaves the guy's midsection open. Nicely done. Reinhardt throws off the net, but can't get past his opponent's shield. Kazarin focuses on the Warbrand-wielding mercenary to our south. And he lands a couple of solid hits, piercing the mercenary's chest. Rondis steps up, readying his greatsword as well. Oh, nicely done. He slices open one mercenary's abdomen, cleaves open the other's ribcage. Janos steps up, but unfortunately doesn't have enough action points to attack. We're at the bottom of the round, so let's do a little final maneuvering here. Actually, I guess everyone's good where they are, so... Round 3. Wojtek just took another minor hit there. Wolf moves back a little farther. We'll plant him behind that bush there. The sergeant just lost another chunk of armor, but otherwise we're doing okay on the south flank. We'll keep our archers focused on that last remaining marksman. Oh, nice. Okay, Fox hit the wrong target, but he killed it, so I can live with that. There's some fancy maneuvering there on the mercenary's part. Roderick's in danger again. He's pretty badly wounded, and now he's facing an enemy with a spear. Alessandro takes aim, puts down the last of the enemy marksmen, and then fires through the ranks, suppressing the spearmen on Roderick. There's a little more fancy maneuvering from the mercenaries. A few projectiles flying at our... Ooh. Okay, Roderick needs to go back on the defensive. He's at half armor and half health at this point. Henry manages to get in a quick stab on his foe. Vlad trims off a chunk of the armor on the mercenary threatening Roderick. And Roderick's up. I'm tempted to take a swing with the greatsword, but let's just get him back on his dagger and shield. I got this, turns to assist Roderick, and cleaves off the mercenary's ear. Reinhardt continues holding the north flank. He can't get past his opponent's shield, but they can't get past him either. Rondis kills one of the mercenaries in front of him, breaks the morale of the other. Kazarin finishes off the Warbrand-wielding mercenary on our south side. And Janos readies his great hammer and prepares for a wide arcing swing. Oh, but the enemy mercenaries turn aside the blow with their shields. Vlad readies his shield, wades into combat, which breaks the spearmen on Roderick. Nice. And pushing into round 4. We've got a great sword wielder on our north side. That's a major threat. Wojtek starts firing through the ranks. He puts an arrow through a mercenary's shoulder, then kills him with a second shot. Bunny readies her bow. She doesn't have any open shots, but she can at least lay down some suppressing fire. I guess we could start maneuvering our archers to get an open line of sight next turn. But I think I might be better off just continuing to lay down suppressing fire here. Okay, looks like a few of the mercenaries are moving around. There's another minor hit on Janos. Alessandro's got a clear line of sight to the mercenary in front of him, but I think we'll start moving him so we can lay down some fire on the great sword wielder. Vlad is up. He grabs his dagger and puts it through a mercenary's shoulder. Janos' armor continues absorbing blow after blow. I got Reddy's axe and decapitates the mercenary in front of him before moving up to engage two more. Roderick ducks past Rondis and puts his dagger into a mercenary's side, breaking his morale. The sergeant starts moving up. Actually, he'll move up into the middle of the formation. Reinhard continues fending off his foes, now focused on the mercenary with the greatsword. He manages to put his dagger through the mercenary's arm. Kazarin moves up, filling a gap in our line. Rondis maneuvers, then thrusts through the mercenary's ranks, fatally impaling one of them. Janos readies his hammer again, but he's too exhausted to make another arcing swing. In fact, we'll just give him a moment to recover his breath. Whoa, okay, someone's head just came off. Oh, I see. Looks like one of the mercenaries tried to flee and I decapitated him. Okay, we're at the bottom of the round, so let's see if we have any final maneuvering to do here. And moving into round 5. Reinhard turns aside a greatsword strike on our north. Wojtek is up. I guess he can move up and fire past Reinhard here. Oh, nice! He takes out the greatsword-wielding mercenary with a lucky headshot. Bunny will move up and fire into the remaining enemies. There's a bit more fancy footwork on the part of the mercenaries. Alessandro starts circling around to get an open shot, puts an arrow into another one of the mercenaries, which immediately sends him running for his life. Fox moves up, fires through the ranks. Henry readies his banner, smashes it into a mercenary's head. Roderick moves up, takes a swipe but can't land the hit. Vlad readies his pike, using it to shred the rest of his target's chainmail coif. And I got this cleaves the man's head from his shoulders. Kazarin circles around, plants his dagger in a man's side. Janos readies his hammer, but can't get past his foe's shield. Though he still manages to put his dagger through the man's leg. Reinhard starts pursuing our fleeing foe. Rondis takes a quick moment to catch his breath. Wolf watches from afar. And we're at the bottom of the round, so we'll do some final maneuvering here, but I think we're moving into the home stretch. This fight is pretty much over. Our archers are up. We'll have them move a little closer and take pot shots at the fleeing mercenary. Fox misses. But Alessandro quickly takes down the fleeing mercenary with a volley of arrows. The sergeant moves up, kills the second-to-last mercenary with a deft jab of the company banner. Roderick moves up to engage the final mercenary. Vlad tears half the man's armor apart with a single thrust of his pike. I hops the line, but he's too exhausted to take a swing. Kazarin moves in as well, but he's also too tired. Reinhard plugs the last gap, keeping the man pinned in place. And Janos readies his shield and then makes a vicious flurry of dagger swipes, killing the last of the mercenaries. Nicely done, people. Looks like Bunny just hit level 12. And MVP goes to Alessandro Rodriguez with 4 kills, though I Got This is a close second with 3 kills, all of which were decapitations. And this is what I wanted to see. Look at all that gorgeous loot. We've got more war bows, we've got a war brand and a greatsword. A bunch of tier 2 weaponry here. Even if we don't end up using it, it's great sales fodder. We've got several helmet upgrades. That flat top with mail is pretty great. A new closed mail coif for our archers. And some decent armor too. A mail hauberk, a lamellar harness, and this reinforced mail hauberk here. All in all, it was a tough fight, but it was well worth it. I'll take a quick moment to rearrange our inventory and get some of this new armor equipped, and then we'll push on to Sea Dock. And welcome back. We're about halfway to Sea Dock, just getting up near Dornan here, but we ran into a group of Noxerer. Obviously this is going to be an extremely easy fight, but we can always use some quick and easy XP. Plus it gives me a chance to showcase some of our shiny new armor upgrades. You'll notice that several of the men are sporting new gear, some of it pretty distinctive. I was careful to keep everyone's stamina in mind. Everyone's still got a minimum of 70 or preferably 80 stamina to work with, so while some of the men are a bit slower with their new gear, they should also be a lot tougher. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's get to the killing. Alessandro puts an arrow through a Noxerer's leg. Wojtek puts an arrow through another Noxerer's hand. Oh, and Rowan puts a crossbow bolt through a Noxerer's face. The rest of our men will hold their ground. Anyone who's wielding a spear will set it to receive charges. And Wolf will watch from afar, admiring our handiwork. Round 2. The Noxerer rush towards us. Quickly engaging our front line. Though Reinhardt at least manages to keep the north flank clear. Alright, time for the archers to start mowing people down. Alessandro cuts down a Noxerer. Wojtek puts an arrow through a Noxerer's kidney, then kills the second Noxerer before finishing off the first one. Potato puts arrows through 2 Noxerer's necks. Mark punches an arrow through a Noxerer's shoulder. And Rowan takes careful aim and puts a crossbow bolt through a Noxerer's hand. The rest of our men start rushing up. Oswald swings his war brand, decapitating one of the Noxerer. Rondis moves up, but can't land a hit. Dominic cuts down the last Noxerer on our line, then advances. Janos moves up, whittles away at a Noxerer with his dagger. Kazarin circles wide. Reinhardt steps up as well, finishing off a wounded Noxerer, then putting a spear into another. Woe moves up in preparation for next turn. And round 3. Kazarin takes a minor hit. And back to the killing. I guess at this point we can really just leave it to the frontliners, though we will give Rowan another shot. No luck there, so I guess we'll finish these guys off the old-fashioned way. Dominic trims away at a Noxerer. Rhonda steps up and finishes it off. And Oswald moves in. Oh, so close. Looks like Kazarin finishes the job. Nice. That was a quick, easy fight. No level ups, and of course the loot is the usual disappointing handful of ghoul teeth. But we got some easy experience points, everyone gained some morale, and now we can continue on our way. Actually, I think we'll start the next episode taking on this giant mob of brigands. And then of course we'll push on to Sea Dock. If we're lucky, we'll even get a chance to take on another group of mercenaries. I'll see you next time. Hey, RetconRaider here. Today turned out to be a very good day for the raiders. I'll admit, I was a bit worried when we first ran into those mercenaries. They can be some of the most powerful human enemies in the game, and I wasn't really sure we were ready for that kind of fight. Apparently, I underestimated the raiders because we absolutely slaughtered those poor mercenaries. It's just a shame that the game doesn't really give you many chances to take on rival bands of mercenaries, because after collecting all that lovely armor, I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to do it again. I'm also really looking forward to the day when we finally get to face our first Hedge Knight, since those guys are a great source of top-tier armor and weaponry. Next week, we'll obviously be continuing our journey to Sea Dock, though we will be taking a brief detour to absolutely decimate that unfortunate group of bandits. Considering that we just took down a group of hardened mercenaries, I almost feel sorry for these poor brigands. Almost. Once we've got them out of the way, I'm hoping we'll be able to finish up our current contract, and if we're lucky, we might even be able to wrap up our current ambition as well. It'll be nice to finally have some noble allies, though I do have a sneaking suspicion that we've probably made a few enemies as well. House Rosenving probably won't appreciate that we're helping House Rabenholt steal away one of their towns. Oh well, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. For now, this is RetconRaider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website or the FanRun Wiki. Links are in the description.